So just waiting to do a one-to-one today, and they haven't turned up yet. And I thought I would maybe answer some of their questions here, just in case. I don't know, just feels the pull to maybe answer here because I think they are similar for a lot of people. So it was how to become present in life, wake up, be less attached to the body mind. So if we just feel into all of that, what is the root that's driving the questions? And I felt that there's some sense of doing and becoming. So there's some sense that if we do something, we'll become something. And what we're actually looking for is our true nature. So it's not actually a doing or a becoming, because it's what we already are. So if we're already it, how do we see that? Well, it's to look at what's already here. It seems so simple, doesn't it, when we put it in those terms? To have a look at what's actually here when we don't go to concepts and ideas. Because what we are isn't a concept or an idea or a label. We're not our name. Our name is a label that's given to what we are. So what's actual? Let's not chase those concepts. Let's not try and box and label what is actually here. Let's have a look at what's actually here. Feel into what's here when we don't pick up thoughts, feelings, and emotions about a me, when we just have a look in direct experience at, if we don't pick up past and future, what's here? If we don't pick up thoughts, what's here? You might notice that there's just a space of being. And that's really a label, but a silent presence. This person was, how do I become present in life? I don't understand that. They're pointing to when they're really busy. How can they be present? But what we're doing is we're picking up an idea of a me that's got to be present in life. And I know that because I did that. And it does work temporarily. We just stop and become present. So there's that feeling that we become present, the experience of becoming present. But what it is we drop the thoughts, concepts, and ideas, and it reveals that we already are presence itself. So the dropping away of busy activity. So how can we be in our lives quite busy and be in presence? Well, it's to see we are presence. And that presence is always there when we look. So the presence is here. It's just our attention goes towards the objects, the forms, the thoughts about got to do, the thoughts about a me that's not good enough or is really good. Judging others, judging ourselves. They all take us away. They all give us an experience of leaving. We never leave what we are, present moment awareness, just being, formless awareness, impersonal awareness, unbound awareness, knowing, being, just this are all pointers towards what's here when we drop concepts, labels, and ideas. This space of being that reveals itself. The silence between my words. So once we've recognized what we are, that we're not a concept or an idea, so the mind isn't going to get it because the mind can only go to concepts and ideas. So we can't use the mind. It's not a becoming. It's not something the mind's going to get. It's the dropping of mental activity. That reveals the silent space in which all the mental activity appears and disappears. And then a thought might arise, well, this can't be it, because the mind's got an idea of what it's going to be like. And if we follow that thought, this can't be it, then that's the experience we have. We have the experience of somebody who feels like they're not quite there yet. But if we recognize the space in which the thought arose, we've got chance to see that that's what we are, the underlying presence of all the forms, all the comings and goings, is what we are. Look at what else they were saying. Less attached to the body-mind. So it's to see the body-mind appears in what we are. Thoughts appear, disappear, effortlessly. We identify with the thoughts of being ours, but there is a chance to see from presence, from turning towards this space in which the thoughts appear, that they just spontaneously appear. When we recognize we're the space in which they appear, or the underlying presence in which they appear, if our attention remains on the presence, on the space, on the silence, we don't identify with the thoughts. We don't pick up the idea or a thinker of thoughts. Thoughts can appear, that's absolutely fine, and some of them are obviously practical and valuable, but not these repetitive thoughts about a me that's not quite there yet, that doesn't like this life, that needs this moment to be different. If I can just rearrange my life, if everybody can just be a little bit kinder, everybody can be a bit more organized in my life, then I would have time for me. You know, those type of thoughts. Projecting onto other people that they're the cause of our, of not having peace. Just looking what else this person said. They only said 3 things. How to wake up. So the recognition is that this one that feels like it's going home, that's looking to wake up, actually doesn't exist. It's just the attention going backwards and forwards of your true nature, creating an idea of leaving and creating an idea of walking home. This waking up doesn't happen to a separate self. It's the recognition that you're already awake, that your fundamental nature is awake, alert presence, that you already are, that's here when the thoughts aren't here. When the attention isn't going towards the thoughts can actually be here. It's the attention that's the invites us into this idea of a me, and then another thought's added on, and then there might be a feeling of contraction. So it's to explore what's actually here in direct experience. Not being attached to the body-mind is to recognize that it's not quite as solid as we think it is, this body-mind. If we don't go to concepts about it, where even is a mind, there'll be a pull to go up towards thinking to work that out. But if we rest in being, the attention is still on this alert, awake presence that we are. This idea of a mind just doesn't seem relevant. It just seems like there's just space here. It's as if we have to create a mind to talk about it. So it's to see through these concepts and ideas. We still talk about a mind, but we know there isn't really a mind, that it's a concept. It's an idea that is handy to talk about. My mind's really busy. So we all know what that means. There's this idea of a mind that's busy. I'm seeing a mind running around now being busy. There's mental activity. And it's sort of got a momentum. So that's where we would say, oh, my mind is really busy. So it's a concept to describe an experience rather than what you are. It's not an actual thing. It's a concept. But what you are is actual. Is what's here when we drop all those ideas and labels and concepts. Just your direct experience of now. What's here? You drop past and future. What's here? That you just are. And we don't add anything else on top of that. We don't add the story of who we are, because that isn't who we are. It's a story, concept, and idea of who we are. We just are. If I said to you, are you aware? Then you'd say yes. There's just an awareness, natural. It's our natural awareness. But it isn't personalized. It's a universal awareness, non-conceptual. Yet it can pattern shape and have an experience, you know. We can go towards, attention goes towards thoughts. It never becomes bound as a separate self. It's just the attention then creates an experience. So life is creating experiences for itself. Because these thoughts are appearing, but they're appearing to no one. Because what we are is not bound to the physical body. There is an experience of a physical body. There is an experience of a busy mind. There's an experience of thoughts, and we just sort of have this concept of it's me, it's my body, my thoughts, my mind, my life. But really it's life doing it all. Life creating experiences for itself from thoughts of a me. So life experiences a me. There's no me in reality. So I hope these pointers help. So there's no becoming what you are. Because why would you become what you are? I mean, you must be already what you are. Yes, there's an experience of being this separate self that's tossed around and has got these thoughts that change all the time. That is an experience that what you are, life, is having. Impersonal awareness is having. So we've got to get to the root of what we are. To see that we're not actually this self that's made out of thoughts, concepts, and ideas. But if we're in the game, if we're believing our thoughts and they're our thoughts and we're thinking them and my life is hard and I don't like it, then that's the experience we have of a separate self in a world of forms. So we have to retrace back to the root of everything, to the one that creates the experience, to the underlying presence in which the experience arises. Because the experience comes and goes. Even when you go to sleep at night, there's that dropping away of the separate self story. And then it rises up in the morning. There's an I that needs to know what it's doing today. But there was something in which it arose, those thoughts. As soon as we identify with that thought, what am I doing today? Then there's an I that's got something to do. Whereas there could be just this thought, what am I doing today? And then you don't have to pick it up. There's still stuff to do, but there's no I that's doing it. It's seen. So there's no grasping, got to do. There's just an awareness of things to be done. So again, I hope this helps. Thanks for watching.